This is Fox 31 Now.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning into Fox 31 Now. I'm Alex Rose. I hope you all had a great Valentine's Day. Lower third's acting up on me. There we go. But it looks beautiful right now in the Mile High City. Very warm today, very warm yesterday. Feels like spring a little bit, but we Coloradans know that this is false spring that you're feeling right now. Winter is coming. It's coming tomorrow, and it is going to be a doozy. Joining me live here on Fox 31 Now is Pinpoint Weather meteorologist Jessica LaBelle. We're going to be highlighting all the different impacts this storm is going to bring to the Denver metro and this neighborhood. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, just want to welcome you folks to Fox 31 Now. If you're tuning in on our Facebook page, feel free to ask questions. I will do my best to pass those along to Jess about the impact and the timing of this storm. Without further ado, Jess, I'm going to go ahead and punch up your weather computer. Take it away.
All right. Yeah, Alex, we are tracking, of course, that pinpoint weather alert day for tomorrow. So I just want to go through the timing, the totals, break down all the details so that you know how this storm is going to impact you. And as always, if you're watching on our Facebook feed, feel free to ask us any questions or write in where you're watching from so that we can sort of tailor this forecast to your area. So that snow is going to start midday Wednesday for us here in Metro Denver. Places like the Northern Mountains and Northern Front Range, we'll see it starting a little bit earlier. In terms of accumulation, this is just a broad brush here. We're going to see 2 to 5 inches in the metro. I will show you those snowfall accumulation maps coming up in just a few here. But again, 2 to 5 inches across Denver is going to be enough to make those roads really slick and cause some travel problems out on the roadways. We are expecting higher totals west and south of Denver. We often see this with storms like this from the upslope flow that we see, which is winds out of the east when they go up the slope of the mountains. We do see more snow in some of those higher elevations. So cold temperature is also going to be an impact. We hit 61 degrees yesterday. Today, as of right now, we're in the upper 50s. So dropping to the 30s tomorrow with snowfall is going to be a big change for us. And of course, we are going to see those slick road conditions. So I do want to talk about some of those commute impacts. So first, right now, a live look outside. You can see all of the cloud cover we have over Denver right now. And that's going to be really the story for today. This is sort of the onset of the storm system moving a little bit closer. We're starting to see the cloud cover. It's been a little bit breezy out there, and that's our storm system starting to get a little bit closer. And I was mentioning the mild temperatures. We're at about 54 degrees right now out at Denver International Airport, wind out of the north at about 13 miles per hour. So across the state, if you don't live in Denver, you can see those temperatures at 50 up in Fort Collins, 59 in the Springs. Dillon right now sitting at 44 degrees. So we have really warm temperatures no matter where you are. But you can see the change to tomorrow. Temperatures will be cooling into the 30s. It's going to feel a lot colder. Highs tomorrow hitting about 35 in Denver and Fort Collins, 33 up in Greeley and Akron. So big change, but the southeastern plains will be the last to see the front. So they will hit the 50s tomorrow before that colder air moves in. So let's talk about the timing of this storm system. I have my graphics over here, and I want to break down this storm hour by hour, and I want to bring you to this afternoon. You can see a little bit of that snow up just north and west of Colorado. As I advance this into the overnight hours, we could see some of these snow showers build in here across our northern mountains. Steamboat Springs, really Routt in Jackson County seeing the first of this, all the way spreading south towards I-70 by Wednesday morning. So if you are headed up to the mountains, maybe you're going to ski or snowboard on Wednesday, we are looking at some snowy conditions for that. The good news is you'll have some fresh powder throughout the day, so that should be pretty fun, but roads could get pretty slick, especially by midday Wednesday in the mountains. Now, I want you to notice later in the commute, Wednesday morning, up north, Fort Collins, Greeley, Loveland could start to see some of those snow showers towards the later half of the commute. You can sort of see those bands setting up. This is once again going to be another snow banding event where we do have those bands of heavier snow showers. You can see it there from Fort Collins stretching up into Logan County. So some areas may see a couple inches of snow, or areas nearby may not see as much. But you can see how this sets up here. It slides south and east by about lunchtime. So if you are heading out for lunch tomorrow, or maybe you're heading home to walk the dog on your little lunch break, we could certainly be seeing some of those impacts underway here in Metro Denver by about 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. tomorrow. So that's really the timing we're looking at for this storm system to get started here. And then into the afternoon, we really see it get a lot thicker right during that evening drive. I'll pause this here at about 4:30. I know a lot of people leave work around that time, 4:30, 5 o'clock, and you can see just how widespread and heavy that snow is over Metro Denver and a lot of the Front Range. So we're expecting that to be the big commute impact tomorrow. If you're heading to the mountains or you live up north in Fort Collins, Larimer, Weld counties, you could see some minor commute impacts tomorrow morning, but here in Denver, we're going to see those impacts for the Wednesday evening commute, not in the morning. So this snow, it's going to stick around for quite some time here. We're going to see this Wednesday evening, just as heavy by 9-10 p.m. You can see it even stretching further south, Pueblo and Trinidad, now seeing some of that snowfall. And then taking you into the overnight hours, we will see it continue to shift towards the south. So it's sort of pulling away that low pressure system as it moves east, is bringing that heaviest snow down across the southeastern plains and away from Denver. So our snow lightens up a little bit after midnight. This is early Thursday morning, and then you can still see a couple of lingering snow showers, those tiny blue dots there, around by about 4:30 a.m. on Thursday. I do think most of us will be dry for that Thursday morning commute. However, we could still have some patchy fog and some cloud cover around. And then it's going to be southern Colorado that's still dealing with the snow for the Thursday morning drive. But by midday Thursday, you can see that sunshine starting to move out. So that's sort of the timing we're looking at, Alex, with this storm system.
Yeah, I mean, that thing looks very impressive on the radar. When you talk about just at its peak at 9 o'clock tomorrow night, it pretty much spans north-south the entire state, the whole I-25 corridor. We have a bunch of requests here on our Facebook page, so let me just rocket through a couple of them. Regina, I hope that that timing right there from Jess gives you an idea. It really depends on where you are for when this storm is going to start. Wednesday morning, you can expect it in the mountains. You see that band that went down. Yep, perfect. Thank you. Right on cue, Jess. Hitting the Denver metro area anywhere between noon and 1, depending on where you are. Now, there are a whole bunch of locational different ones, Jess. So let me just try to break this up into sections. Let's focus on the Denver metro. Michelle is wondering how much snow in Denver. Jessica is wondering how much in Parker. And then Crystal is wondering about Aurora. So let's try to bring this into Denver and the east side of the city. What are we looking at here?
All right, let's dive into snowfall totals for those of you asking here. I want to bring up the Front Range view here because you can really see the shading across the city of what we're going to see, the contours here. So across Metro Denver, we're expecting about 2 to 5 inches of snow. Now, if you live on the south side of town, closer to, say, Parker, maybe even parts of southeastern Aurora, you could see closer to that 4 or 5 inch mark. Now, if you live closer to the northeast side of town, up towards the airport, maybe Central Park, maybe Montbello, you will likely see closer to that 2 to 3 inch mark. As you head west, on the west side of town, if you live up in Lakewood, Littleton, Golden, Arvada, Morrison, Carroll, those areas are likely going to stack up 4 to 5 inches of snow from this storm system. And you can see the shading across the city there, that northeast side in more of that 2 to 3 inch range. And then you can see that darker blue as you head south and west, and that's where we're going to pick up some of those higher totals, possibly 4 or 5, maybe even some isolated pockets of 6 inches of snowfall. So this is really dependent on where you live, and we've seen this time and time again, Alex, with these storm systems. It's going to be the south and west sides of town that really pick up the most snowfall. And then I do want to mention too, up into the foothills, we're looking at 3 to 7 inches. So places in Boulder and Jefferson counties, down south across the Palmer Divide, likely 3 to 7 inches. And places like Castle Pines and Castle Rock, also in that higher range that we're looking at for snowfall totals.
It's just impressive because the past couple of storms that you and I have been covering here on Fox 31 Now, Jess, it always seems that, you could pretty much draw a line along the I-25 corridor. The west side is going to get more snow, folks, and that seems to be consistent with what we're seeing here. Danielle's wondering about Broomfield. She has a funeral to attend. I'm sorry to hear about that, Danielle, but let's kind of look in, because I did see, Harry Jones is wondering about Arvada as well, if we can kind of focus on that north central part of the Denver metro, Jess.
Yeah, so let me get you a closer look here at the city if I can find it here in my graphics. But if you do live on that northwest side, again, you're going to be in that higher range, especially if you're up towards Broomfield and Boulder. That's up a little bit closer to the foothills. So I think 3 to 7 inches is definitely a possibility in those areas. So it depends what time you're leaving for that event. But of course, morning hours are looking much better. If you can leave even early afternoon, that's looking a lot better than, say, Wednesday night. As soon as we hit 3-4 o'clock, we're really going to start to see those road conditions deteriorate. And pretty much throughout the whole evening drive, things are going to be slick and slow, and it could really be tough to travel, even if you're just traveling here along the metro. So I do want to pull up, and I have to set my parameters here. So just give me a second to
you're
to
fine,
you.
Jess. Yeah, and I mean, I know that it's tough to just manipulate these type of graphics in real time. I mean, you're preaching to the choir over here on that, so it's hard to do. But you could kind of see the lines as you were saying.
Yeah,
I think it's
absolutely.
ballpark fair to say 3 to 4 inches on the west side of I-25,
Yeah.
depending on where you're at.
Absolutely. And we were talking about I-25 as that line. You can see it here in this model. This is just one model's output of what it thinks is going to happen, but it does a pretty good job with that 2 to 5 inches. I do think some of those amounts that this is showing on the west side of town up into Golden, Morrison, and King Carroll might be a little bit too low. I think it's possible to see 5, possibly even 6 inches up in those areas, but you can see the northeast side of town, not a whole lot. Brighton, it's showing about 1 inch, possibly 2 inches. Okay. The airport at about 2 inches of snow. So once again, this is going to be a storm where we see that gradient from east to west across the city. So if you are commuting up towards Broomfield, Boulder, again, 3 to 7 inches, that's pretty decent snow, and we are going to be seeing some bigger impacts there. Even Arvada, especially the west side of Arvada, does pretty well with storm systems like this with that easterly upslope flow. So we are expecting some of the bigger totals up that direction. So again, if you can leave or get your events done midday Wednesday, you're probably going to be fine. It's later Wednesday evening when we're looking at some of those bigger impacts. And I can show you guys too, I have a closer view of the timing of this storm on the Front Range. So if that's helpful for you guys to walk through this, I would love to show you sort of a closer look.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, so
I wanted to point out to Christina, we're looking at maybe 1 inch for Brighton, just because you touched on that, so we were able to handle that question. But Harry brings up a curious question. Is there going to be a winter storm watch? Jess, could you just kind of explain that distinguishment, how those labels get decided, and are we expecting that for tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is our advisory map. As you can see, we don't have a winter weather advisory or a winter storm watch in place right now. That is all issued from the National Weather Service, which is up in Boulder, Colorado. So we are actually in a chat system with them. They will be updating us, all of the broadcast meteorologists, when they go ahead and make that decision to issue a winter weather advisory or winter storm watch. I think for this storm system, it'll more likely be a winter weather advisory. Now, I do think it's possible that they issue one. We will likely hear from them this afternoon or this evening if they are going to go ahead and issue that. And what it means, an advisory, is that there's going to be some travel impacts. So that's just sort of like an alert. It's like us issuing a pinpoint weather alert, just to sort of give you a heads up that we are going to be seeing some decent accumulation. We are going to see impacts on the roadways. So again, it is going to be issued likely later today if they are going to go ahead and issue that. It'll likely be for the Front Range and areas off to the west. The Eastern Plains not seeing as big of an impact, about 1 to 3 from this storm, so they might not be included in that advisory. But of course, on our newscast tonight, we will keep you updated if we are going to be seeing an advisory put in place. Now, if that gets upgraded to, say, a winter storm watch or winter storm warning, that's usually a bigger deal. We typically see that with some higher totals. So sometimes they will issue that for the foothills, where we're going to see some of those higher amounts, and that's where travel is really going to be challenging. So we're waiting for that by the National Weather Service. Of course, we will keep you updated. And really quick on the timing of this on the Front Range, just to show some of you that might be tuning in now, I do want to bring you to Wednesday morning. And again, this is going to start up in the mountains. So if you do live in the mountains, or maybe you're just heading up that direction, early Wednesday morning, that snow is underway. You can see it up towards Vail Pass. The Eisenhower Tunnel could see snow early Wednesday, all the way up into the Steamboat Springs area if you're heading that direction. And then notice how it starts to creep east a little bit. The Northern Front Range sees it first. Fort Collins, Briggsdale, Greeley, all the way up through places like Nunn, Severance, Eaton, Windsor. You all could see the snow early Wednesday morning. So you could see some minor commute impacts Wednesday morning. Here in Denver, we're going to wait to see those commute impacts midday Wednesday into the evening hours. So notice how this moves south and east. Here it comes, midday. And it's going to start north, places like Boulder, Thornton, up into Erie. We are going to see Firestone. We're going to see those areas see some of this snow banding before we see it here in Denver. And I think in Denver, it's going to be from about 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. when we really start to see that snow move in. You can see this model really brings it in from about noon to 1 o'clock, some pretty heavy snow right across the city there. So that's what we're looking at as far as the timing. It gets even more widespread and heavier by the evening drive. This is 4:30, especially if you're heading south across Monument Hill and the Palmer Divide down into the Pikes Peak region. That's going to be pretty rough going on Wednesday. So if you can stay home or work from home or even leave work early, that's my advice. You can see just how heavy it's going to be on that south side of town, Alex.
Yeah, that looks absolutely wild. We're getting a couple of specific requests that are kind of lumped into regions, and so I'm going to do my best to stitch a couple of these locations together for you folks who are wondering. Really, Annette is wondering just about southern Colorado in general, and so let's try to loop in Colorado Springs, maybe the San Luis Valley, but also in that vein, Amanda was just wondering, any idea how much snow Elizabeth is going to get well outside of Castle Rock? And you can see, obviously, that area right there. Yeah, I know it's not specifically there on the map, but I can eyeball it there in that Elbert County kind of area, that it looks like that's going to be in that heavy band of snow Wednesday afternoon for the commute as well for Elizabeth.
Yeah. So let's talk about areas south of Denver. I want to back this up and show you, you may not see this snow get going until the afternoon. So it's really going to take probably until after about 12:30, 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon to really see that snow get underway in Elbert County. And then it's going to take even longer to pass down into El Paso County. So Colorado Springs may not see that snow until 3 or 4 p.m. tomorrow. In terms of snowfall accumulation in those areas, the Palmer Divide, always a hot spot when we see wind direction like this to see some of those bigger totals. So 3 to 7 inches expected. But notice how a lot of Elbert County isn't included in that. So if you live a little bit further east, places like Elizabeth, maybe even Franktown, Kiowa, you could see closer to about 2 to 5 inches of snowfall. Meanwhile, areas a little bit closer to I-25, say Castle Rock, Castle Pines, might be more in that 3 to 7 inch range. And then down in Colorado Springs, it's actually not going to be hit as hard as what we're going to see here in Denver. So we're looking at closer to about 1 to 3 inches in Colorado Springs. Of course, on that north and west side of Colorado Springs up towards the Air Force Academy, once we get into Palmer Lake and Monument, we certainly could stack up closer to 3 to 6 inches of snow in those areas. That's a higher elevation. But down into the city of Colorado Springs, we're looking at about 1 to 3 inches from this storm.
And specifically, I got some clarification from our viewer. Goodness, I'm just trying to, let's see. It was Annette who was asking, when she said southern Colorado, she was specifically talking about the San Luis Valley. Obviously I could see Alamosa there on the map, roughly 2 inches, depending on where you are. But when you get closer to the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, obviously you're going to get a little more accumulation. So I guess it depends on exactly where you live, Annette. And so I wanted to take this moment just because we have a big range of the state. We do have some viewers who are joining us from the Eastern Plains who were wondering about some communities. Tammy's asking about Yuma. And I'm going to say Miss Laura, because I'm going to swing and miss on pronouncing your first name, is asking about Bennett. And so it looks like really, the front range and west of I-25 is going to get the brunt of these totals. Everywhere else on the Eastern Plains, from Greeley onward, looking at 1 to 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll zoom you into this closer view here, and I do want to talk about Yuma. So, of course, that's over in the Yuma County area. We're only really going to see about a dusting up to 2 inches in that area. So not a huge storm for you. It could be enough to make some of those roads a little bit slick around town, but you're not going to see as much as we're going to see here in the city. And then out towards Bennett, or even if you're heading out towards the airport, that direction, we are looking at closer to about 1 to 3 inches of snowfall. So you're sort of in that 2 inch range there that we're looking at. Again, you're not going to see as high of totals as the Palmer Divide or the west side of Metro Denver because you're north and east of the city. So about 1 to 3 inches there, but that's going to be enough, as we know, to make impacts on I-70. And then I also want to touch on, Alex, the wind with this storm system. We have seen a little bit of wind out there today. You may have noticed if you've been out and about, you can see those gusts off to the west of Denver, and then you can see some of those that have developed southwest across 285. Parts of the mountains are gusting up to about 40 miles per hour. So it's not particularly a very windy day, but we are seeing some winds out there, and I do want to show you kind of what we're looking at for tomorrow here. So in terms of wind, it's not going to be a very windy storm system. And that's good news because visibility shouldn't be a huge issue. We could see a little bit of fog, especially Wednesday night. But as I walk you through this, you can see not a whole lot of wind, especially Wednesday afternoon. Those winds staying under 10, 15 miles an hour in most places. Although as we head towards Wednesday evening, you can see it picking up a little bit. We could see some gusts up to about 20 miles per hour out on our eastern plains and down south. So that could make a little bit of impact. But Alex, I'd say it's certainly a blessing with this storm system to not be seeing very gusty winds along with that snowfall.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know that, those winds in particular can cause a whole lot of problems spanning from traffic to infrastructure in our state. We've seen some incredibly high winds just in the past couple of months here on the Front Range. And so at least that's one element that we can kind of take out of the picture, but I'm not going to, rule it out or anything like that. Let's get back to some of your comments here on Facebook Live. William, appreciate this one. Just another day where people forget how to drive. Again, keep some car lengths in between, the person in front of you and you. Please don't tailgate out on the road because then our reporters have to go out and cover all your crashes. And so just save them some of the work, but appreciate that, William. And another reminder that Troy says, please mention to stay back from plows and not pass them as it is dangerous and you can get a ticket. Yeah. Always a good reminder there, Troy. Appreciate your comment. Now, these are the questions that I really appreciate, folks, so keep them coming. Kelly is wondering, what time is snow starting and will it cause problems for DIA? We know it's not expected to really, that first band, Jess, isn't going to hit the airport until, 12 to 1 o'clock. But we just know that when we're talking about persistent snow that is going to keep up and continue to blanket the Denver metro area, I can't imagine that there aren't going to be delays and cancellations over at DIA. Just considering how this thing is expected to start in Denver between noon and 1 and then carry on well into Wednesday evening into Wednesday night. Sorry, we're frozen up here, but we're back. All good.
Yeah, Alex, I think it's safe to say for the airport, we are going to start to see those impacts as early as 11 a.m. or noon. And then we're definitely going to be seeing some cancellations from a storm system like this. It's very, very hard in thick snow, low visibility for planes to fly in and out. They have to worry about de-icing. Wind could be a little bit of a factor in this. I was showing you some gusts up to 20 miles per hour Wednesday evening. That, along with the snowfall, could cause some issues. So we're expecting that travel to be pretty rough, especially out at the airport or if you're driving anytime after about noon or 1 p.m. on Wednesday. So if your flight's early or you can move it up a little bit, you're going to have a higher chance of being able to get out of Denver, not seeing a delayed or canceled flight. But I am expecting some of those to be canceled, if not delayed, of course, throughout the evening on Wednesday. And then even in the overnight hours, we're not really going to see this wrap up until, well, after midnight. You can see 11 p.m. that snow is still going across the city. So of course you don't want to be one of the people stuck out at DIA until this wraps up in the very early morning hours on Thursday and then finally able to get out.
Yeah, nobody wants to be stuck at the airport overnight. So just a heads up, people. Mickey, I saw your comment there. I'm sorry that you've got jury duty tomorrow morning in Denver at 7 a.m. That stinks.
Oh.
But I don't think that you're going to see a lot of accumulations on the roads for the morning commute. We're really trying to focus this for the evening commute for folks just because of the timing and the impact of this storm. So just a heads up, you didn't specify. Jess always has graphics ready to go, folks, and I always do appreciate that. So yes, let's focus on the commute a little bit for people like Mickey who may be needing to head downtown during certain times of the day. If your jury duty is on Wednesday morning, you should be good. Thursday, that's a bit of a question mark.
Yeah, Alex, I made this simple graphic to sort of explain. This is for Metro Denver, when we're going to see those commute impacts with the specific storm. So Wednesday morning across Metro Denver, you're good to go. So if you need to run errands or get out and walk the dog, that is the time to do it. Maybe you want to go out and get gas to fill up your car or run to the grocery store. I would not wait to do that until Wednesday evening. That's really when it's going to be slow going. And if you're able to, based on your job, maybe work from home Wednesday or leave at the lunchtime hour and work the rest of the way at home in the afternoon, that's really going to help out with the road conditions, because Wednesday evening you can see those red light conditions. We're expecting the biggest impacts to the Wednesday evening drive. Now, what we're looking at with this storm system is already some accumulating snow on the roadways. As that commute gets underway, temperatures will be right around or just below the freezing mark as that commute is starting. So we are going to start to see a lot of icing up on the roadways. And then, of course, we are going to see moderate to heavy snowfall, and then with a little bit of breezy winds, visibility could be a little bit lower. So with all of those factors, and we've seen this play out with the last several storm systems, we are expecting some travel problems on the roads. It's likely going to take you longer to get to where you need to be. Now, by Thursday morning, a lot of that snow may not be actively falling anymore. We could see some isolated showers or maybe just some flurries left over, but we could see some patchy fog and low cloud cover Thursday morning. And then if we get 2 to 5 inches of snow, we are still going to see slick road conditions, especially on some of those side streets, neighborhood roads. And as we know, Alex, this time of year, it's the bridges and overpasses that really stay icy for a long time. They don't have that insulation. They're not soaking up the heat like other pavement. They're having cold air being blown under them. And so those are really the areas where we see ice stick around a little bit longer. And that's some of the spots to look out for Thursday morning.
Yeah, unfortunately for Mickey, he's got jury duty actually Thursday morning instead of tomorrow morning. So a bit dicier conditions. Best advice that I could give you, stick to those main streets, avoid those side streets in Denver. We all know how they get, especially right after a snowstorm.
And watch our newscast Thursday morning. We will have a crew of meteorologists and reporters out showing you the road conditions. So if you're concerned about getting where you need to be, they'll let you know anything about road closures, accidents. Of course, Drew Engelbart will be on traffic that morning, kind of tracking where you can take some of those detours to get around some of those slowdowns. So important to watch the news for that reason as well.
Absolutely. Happy to make sure that folks are up to date and have the information they need to get through their day, whether it's tomorrow or whether it's, jury duty Thursday morning. Talk about a double whammy, though. I mean, come on. I'm sorry, Mickey. And so as we wrap up here on Fox 31 Now, appreciate you folks for tuning in. Just want to make sure that I'm getting to some of these final couple of questions. I did see, let's see, Tina asked this, I think, a couple times, how about Wellington? I did see that it looks like there is a bit of a winter advisory just north of the border on Wyoming for this one on Cheyenne. And so I imagine that it could get a little interesting up there north on I-25.
Yeah, so you can see just along and west of I-25 up in southern Wyoming, they do have that winter weather advisory in place through 2 a.m. on Thursday. So this is for the storm system moving in tomorrow. So Wellington, which for those of you who may not know, is just north of Fort Collins. You can see it there on the map. You're also going to be dealing with some of those conditions. So
yeah, so I'm curious if that warning's going to creep down into Colorado is what I'm trying to get at.
Certainly could.
Yeah.
I will be surprised, I will say, if the National Weather Service doesn't issue a winter weather advisory. We are expecting that this afternoon or evening. So it's pretty likely. And then also up in Wellington, I want to mention, you're going to be one of the first areas to see this snow move in. So you're going to see it pretty early Wednesday morning. You can see some of those snow bands moving across northern Weld and Larimer counties right there. So you may see already some of that snowfall by your Wednesday morning commute. And then if we take a look at some of that accumulation, you are closer to that 2 to 5 inch range. So 2 to 5 inches certainly could create some travel troubles across I-25 and the town of Wellington.
Yep, absolutely. Again, meteorologist Jessica LaBelle joining us here on Fox 31 Now. Guadalupe, Kelly, Doris. Doris says yay for extra sleep, and so I can't say the same about our crews. These are kind of like these are our game days. We get up early, and we're going to be carrying news for you all tomorrow through Fox 31 News, starting at 4:30 a.m. We're going to keep it rolling all day, and we're going to be covering that impact after the fact on Thursday morning, as Jess mentioned. Jess, you're not heading out tonight, but likely tomorrow you're going to be out in the Stevenson Pinpoint Weather Beast, right?
Yes, and we also will have our meteorologist Travis Michaels out on the roads tomorrow. So me and him will be out on the roads, and then we'll have our chief meteorologist Dave Frazier here in the studio on all of the Fox newscasts, sort of walking everybody through this storm system. So 3 of us Mets will be in here keeping you covered with the storm.
Absolutely. Really appreciate your work on that, and I think we are going to do some extended coverage on Fox 31 now, starting at 6 o'clock tomorrow night, right as the storm gets a little dicey. And so we'll probably see you around this time tomorrow, a little later, back on Fox 31 Now. Again, meteorologist Jessica LaBelle joining us. Thank you so much, Jess. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Alex.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let Jess go. Laura says, I have things to do. I hate driving in the snow. Get your stuff done early tomorrow, Laura, because, again, the timing of this thing, it's going to get intense starting in the middle of the day, Wednesday, but especially for that Wednesday commute. That's why our team of meteorologists have called a pinpoint weather alert day for tomorrow. These are the type of days that our meteorologists call when we know the weather is going to have an impact on your day. So again, expect a pinpoint weather alert day for tomorrow. Beautiful right now outside the Mile High City. It feels almost like spring. As I started this stream, we know here in Colorado that is false spring, and we are going to just keep on getting periodic snowstorms pretty much until May. That's going to do it for me here on Fox 31 Now. I'm Alex Rose. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to have continued coverage on this snowstorm later tonight on Fox 31 News at 4 o'clock, and then bright and early tomorrow morning on Fox 31. Thanks again for tuning in. Hope you folks have a great rest of your Tuesday. Take care.